Participation is not power. From frustration to civic capability, people are often told that they are not powerless. They are encouraged to speak, organize, attend meetings, sign petitions, publish their concerns, and participate in public life. That encouragement matters. Silence rarely corrects institutional failure, but a difficult question remains. How does public frustration become responsible civic power? Participation alone does not answer that question. People can attend a meeting without influencing the decision. They can submit evidence without changing how the issue is understood. They can be consulted after the important choices have already been made. Their presence can be recorded, counted, and publicly acknowledged, while authority, resources, and institutional control remain somewhere else. Participation can therefore be genuine without being powerful. A community may know that something is wrong. Its members may experience the consequences directly. They may possess knowledge that officials, organizations, and distant decision-makers do not have. Yet awareness is not already civic capability. Anger can reveal that a situation has become intolerable. It can supply courage and urgency. But anger does not, by itself, establish what the problem is, where responsibility lies, who may legitimately speak for others, or which action is justified. Without interpretive groundwork, public energy can remain fragmented. People may organize around different understandings of the problem. They may direct pressure toward institutions that do not possess the necessary authority. A movement may become dependent upon a single leader. Representatives may speak in the name of a community without remaining answerable to it. A campaign may achieve attention, but lack the organizational capacity to preserve its work. The result can be visibility without control, mobilization without direction, and participation without durable power. Malcolm X understood that civic empowerment required more than encouragement. His intellectual and organizational development repeatedly returned to questions of position, contribution, representation, and control. How had people been classified? What did they contribute to the society around them? Who controlled the resources, institutions, and decisions affecting their lives? Who claimed to represent them? Did inclusion provide meaningful influence, or merely place people inside arrangements governed by others? These questions supplied interpretive groundwork. They helped transform personal experience into social understanding, and social understanding into the possibility of organized civic capability. But historical reconstruction must be handled responsibly. The Philosophical Intelligence Institute does not attribute its complete contemporary framework to Malcolm X. PII distinguishes Malcolm X's own intellectual production from the analytical operations reconstructed from the historical record, and from the governance extensions developed by PII. Those extensions address a further problem. A civic program must not only become capable of acting, it must become capable of acting responsibly. It must distinguish justified concern from unsupported accusation. It must distinguish representation from self-appointment. It must distinguish effective action from action that is merely dramatic. It must recognize legal, ethical, institutional, and practical constraints. It must allocate responsibility. It must preserve the ability to correct error. And it must create continuity beyond the individuals who begin the work. PII developed the PII Analytical Engine to examine this missing field. Its internal analytical architecture remains a controlled PII capability, but its public purpose can be stated clearly. The engine examines how scattered civic signals may be transformed into greater clarity, accountable representation, responsible action, and institutional continuity. It does not assume that every public grievance is correctly interpreted. It does not assume that every movement represents everyone it claims to represent. And it does not assume that participation automatically creates authority. Instead, it examines the relationship between public experience and institutional structure. It considers whether the issue has been properly understood, whether the relevant decision field has been identified, whether participation carries meaningful influence, whether representation remains accountable, whether proposed action is responsible and admissible, and whether resulting capability can survive correction, succession, and time. This is the difference between civic mobilization and civic capability. Mobilization can bring people together. Capability enables them to understand what they are confronting, organize knowledge and responsibility, engage the correct institutions, preserve accountability, and continue after the immediate moment has passed. A population does not become powerful simply because it rises. It becomes more capable when it understands the position from which it is rising, the structures through which that position is maintained, the responsibilities attached to collective action, and the institutional conditions required for lasting change. Awareness is necessary. Expression is necessary. Participation is necessary. But none of them alone is power. Civic power emerges when people can convert experience into knowledge, knowledge into organized capability, and capability into responsible institutional action. That conversion is not automatic. It requires interpretive architecture, it requires governance, and it requires methods capable of preserving both public agency and institutional responsibility. The PII Analytical Engine forms part of the Philosophical Intelligence Institute's controlled work on civic capability, institutional interpretation, and admissible governance. For institutional briefings, commissioned analysis, research collaboration, and professional engagement, visit the Philosophical Intelligence Institute. Philosophical Intelligence Institute. Frameworks turn complexity into admissible decisions.
But a framework only matters when people can use it. So what does the passage from public concern to usable civic capability look like in practice? Consider a community in which essential local services are gradually disappearing. A shop closes. A postal service is withdrawn. Transport becomes less accessible. Ordinary needs require longer journeys, greater expense, and more time. Residents recognize the pattern. They discuss it online, attend meetings, contact officials, and circulate a petition. Their concern is real. But the pathway forward remains unclear. Is this a series of unrelated business decisions or a structural withdrawal of essential services? Which organization possesses the relevant authority? Who is responsible for the consequences? Who may legitimately represent the affected community? What outcome is feasible? What resources, partnerships, and institutional commitments would be required? And how could any new arrangement continue after the initial campaign has ended? These are not questions that motivation alone can answer. They require disciplined interpretation, institutional analysis, and practical design. An individual, community group, or organization can begin by making contact with PII. They do not need to arrive with a complete diagnosis. They can describe what has happened, who appears to be affected, what has already been attempted, and what outcome they presently hope to achieve. An inquiry begins the process. The prospective client may ask specifically about the PII Analytical Engine. But PII does not assume that every problem should be fitted into the first framework named by the client. A diagnostic dialogue follows. PI listens to the client's account, examines the available context, and works to clarify the real problem. That dialogue may consider institutional responsibility, representation, feasibility, affected interests, and the relationship between the presenting concern and the wider system in which it has arisen. The purpose is to determine which PII capability is most suitable. The PII Analytical Engine may be the correct fit. Another PI framework may be more appropriate. Some situations may require a combination of PI capabilities or carefully identified specialist support. The client is therefore not merely purchasing a label. The engagement is shaped around the actual need. where the PII Analytical Engine is appropriate, PI applies its controlled analytical architecture to the client's circumstances. The client contributes local knowledge, documents, experience, objectives, and access to relevant participants. PI undertakes the specialized interpretive and governance work. The internal machinery of the engine remains controlled. What the client receives is its applied value. Depending on the agreed scope, the completed package may include a clear statement of the problem, an account of where authority and responsibility lie, a stakeholder and relationship map, an assessment of representation, a feasible action pathway, engagement materials, and provisions for correction and continuity. In the community service example, this could allow residents to move beyond a general demand that somebody restore what has been lost. They could receive a defensible account of the service access problem. They could identify which institutions possess authority, which actors influence the outcome, and which responsibilities are currently fragmented. They could distinguish symbolic participation from meaningful influence. They could determine what the community itself can contribute, what must be requested from public or private institutions, and what arrangements would be required to make a proposed solution operational. They could then introduce that work into their own world. A resident could take it to a community meeting. A civic organization could use it to structure a program. A board could use it to evaluate its responsibilities. Representatives could use it in dialogue with councils, providers, regulators, elected officials, or other decision makers. The package does not replace the client's agency. It equips that agency with clear interpretation, stronger materials, and a governed pathway for action. This is how specialist capability can support civic empowerment. People should research. They should communicate. They should find collaborators, test proposals, and persist. But they do not always have to perform every part of the difficult analytical work alone. Where the problem requires deeper interpretation, governance architecture, or institutional translation, professional assistance can be sought. The PII Analytical Engine is not only an idea about civic capability. It is a controlled PI capability that can be applied to the real circumstances of individuals and organizations. The process begins with contact. It continues through dialogue and fit assessment. And it results in work that the client can introduce into their own community, organization, or institution. Public concern becomes more powerful when it can be converted into something credible, responsible, and usable. Individuals and organizations may contact the Philosophical Intelligence Institute to discuss their circumstances, inquire about the PII Analytical Engine, and determine which PII capability is most appropriate to their needs. Philosophical Intelligence Institute. Frameworks turn complexity into admissible decisions.